Hello everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and today we are taking a look at this super killer Fender American Vintage Reissue 1952 Telecaster in its utmost classic butterscotch blonde finish with the black pickguard. Came in use just this week from the year 2016, and you can definitely tell that it has been used. It has definitely been gigged because we do have some road scars, if you will, kind of like all over the body, but nothing too major and nothing really that makes it unplayable by any means, because this is a fantastic player, sounds, looks and feels fantastic. So yeah, let's dive into the specs. But first a little bit of history. In case you don't know, this is like a 1952 reissue of the Fender Telecaster, which was, interestingly enough, I believe the first full year that it was indeed called the Fender Telecaster, because this model was first introduced actually in 1950, but back then it was called the Broadcaster. But then later that year, as the story goes, is that Fender got a cease and desist letter from Gretsch, because Gretsch had like a drum kit that was also called the Broadcaster, but instead that was spelled with a K instead of a C for the caster part. So Fender needed to drop the name Broadcaster off of this model, and then like from late 1950 up until 1951, you had the no casters, and what that then refers to was that the decal then would say no model at all, just the name Fender, and then later, then in 1951, I believe, maybe early 52. They came up with the name Telecaster, as we can see here right now on the headstock. So hence that this is a 1952 reissue of like the first proper year for this very model. So yeah, a little bit of fun history right there. Let's dive into the specs. We've got a ash body, and this is actually really nice weight. I just put it on the scale, and it is 3.1 kilos, which that like translates to maybe like 6.5 pounds. So incredibly comfortable. Obviously done in this super killer and very classic looking, just like in 1952 butterscotch blonde finish with the black pickguard and the maple neck. It is also done in a true nitro finish. So it does definitely age, or it has aged, because we have again some honest road wear. I'll just then hold it up close to the camera. There are chips in the finish, kind of like around the edges, and also some scratches, and just overall play wear, kind of all over. But as we can tell, nothing too concerning, just really honest play wear that you can really only get by just taking it out and gigging it some more. But the neck is actually in a really nice shape. Like there I do not see any real serious notable marks or scars, so that is very nice to see. Again, that black pickguard, very classic. I think that is also then made out of a different type of a material than they use on most models, because it definitely has a little bit of a different look. I'm not entirely sure, maybe it is just like plastic, but maybe it's also like Bakelite to kind of like refer back to the 1952 models. We've got the classic type of pickups when it comes to the Fender Telecaster, so the neck and the bridge pickup that sound really great. They are the American Vintage 52 pickups, so for your bridge and for your neck again, that sound, yeah, as they should. They sound again just fantastic. We also then got the classic type of a bridge configuration with that bridge plate, and then with the brass saddles that are non-compensated. So as in that when it comes to the intonation, it is not the best in the world, but it is good enough, if you will, and it is just like they did in the 1950s, and actually like up until I believe maybe like the 1980s or something like that. When it comes to the controls, they are like more modern style in the sense that you just have a master volume and a master tone control, and then your three-way pickup selector switch. So all the way down you just have your bridge pickup, both on at the same time, neck pickup. But traditionally, up until like the 1960s, late 1960s, I believe, it would be wired differently, because then in the bridge position you would just have your bridge pickup like all the way open with no tone control whatsoever. Then I believe in the middle position it was both on at the same time, and then your tone control was like a blend knob, and then like in the neck position you would then just have your neck pickup, but like with a dark cap, which was just really not that popular. So they then had changed that in like the late 1960s, and that is like very much more usable for like 99% of the players. So hence why it is also in this model. Got your input jack over here on the side that is kind of like recessed into the body. Got a maple neck with a maple fingerboard, also done in this really nice nitro finish with the walnut stripe on the back there. Got the old school radius, so meaning that it is 7 1/4 inches, so very round, but still very nice to play, and also actually quite easy to bend still. But that is then also thanks to those narrow, tall style of frets, because they are indeed kind of like the old school style frets that are not that big, but they are a little bit taller than usual. As for the profile, beefy U profile, not overly beefy. Like as in that, I think that most people would really like this neck actually. When people think like 1952 type profile, I feel like that most people then think like, oh, this is like baseball bat. And yes and no, as in that still just a very nice neck that is not like overly big. But if you have like small hands, then maybe this is not the perfect one for you. But for most people, I think that this is a very nice playing neck. Got the original nut right there, which is 1.65 inches wide. And then obviously the Fender Telecaster decal over there on the face of the headstock, on that classic Telecaster shape headstock. And then your vintage style tuners right there. And by the way, it is all original apart from the buttons for the straps, because these are Schallers. As we can tell, they are gold, but that is the only thing that has been changed, and also obviously the strings. And then the last thing to mention, it also comes with a hard shell case, not the original one, but it comes with a hard shell case, so that is very nice. So yeah, all in all, super killer player. So yeah, all in all, a totally killer player. 1952 style Telecaster, plays and sounds fantastic, and it also just looks, yeah, absolutely badass with that classic look with the black guard, butterscotch blonde finish, which is also then kind of like translucent, and yeah, it just plays fantastic. So let's play some Rolling Stones riffs. But first, if you're interested in this Fender American Vintage Reissue 1952 Fender Telecaster, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool electric guitars like these, or cool acoustics, bass guitars even, of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. So with all that being said, let's hear what this American Vintage Reissue 1952 Fender Telecaster sounds like. Going to be playing it through the Marshall JTM 45 Blues Breaker style amplifier from 1966. First be playing with the clean tones, and then I'll be playing with the dirty tones, for which I'll be using the MXR Ducatone Overdrive / Distortion pedal. So let's get to that part and take this super killer black guard for a spin.